Good. My name is Steven Gossett. I am with Famzing Photography and Video, and I'm going to be speaking for about 15 minutes today on why you should hire a professional videographer or photographer. Okay. A couple key points is a lot of times in today's environment we have a lot of DIY brides, and we love DIY brides. You know, everybody's looking for a way to cut their budget, you know, kind of have everything for that big day. And so part of that montage with the DIY bride is finding a very inexpensive videographer or photographer, and sometimes that can come back and bite you. And after the show, I'd be willing to, you know, take some time and talk to anybody who has any questions and stories I can share with you. If some brides have come to us and actually had us redo a lot of their wedding pictures of that day because they were trying to find the, you know, a very inexpensive way out. And when you're spending all the extra money on the cake and the venue, the limousine, the DJ, you know, you kind of want to watch where you skimp and save your money. One of the key points with hiring a professional to do pretty much anything for your wedding is experience. I've been doing this for 15 years. Most of the videographers and photographers you're going to meet today have been doing this a long time. Okay, it's a trade. It's something that we've strived to do. We've spent a lot of years changing with the trends, watching the trends, talking to our brides, asking them what they want. There's a lot of things that go into, you know, making it professional. It kind of goes into, from the experience point of view, is I like to give this analogy to a lot of our brides. And if you gave me a scalpel, would you let me perform surgery on you? Okay. The same thing goes with somebody with a camera. If you have a camera, it doesn't mean you're a photographer. It means you own a camera. There's a trade and there's a ability. If you look at Unforgettable Video here, who's doing our video of the presentations today, you know, the equipment is another thing that we take pride in. The equipment that we get is very high grade, it's very expensive because we want to produce the highest quality product for you. You're paying us a sum of money to perform a service for you. And in order to give you the highest quality that we can possibly give you, we have to invest in these high-end things. So that's another big reason of why you want to choose a experienced photographer. Okay. The other thing is planning. Okay. I've lost count with how many weddings we've done as a corporation, or, you know, my wife and our videographer. We've done hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of weddings. Okay, so we know what's going to happen. We talk the bride and we talk the groom through the hard parts of the day because it's a very stressful day. And the last thing you need is for us to come up and ask you, what do I do next? What should I do now? What do you want me to do now? You know, we know how the process works. We know how the day goes, and so we can help you through that process. We have consultations where we're going to talk to you about the day. We're there for your rehearsal. We know what's going to happen, you know, so we can capture those most important shots. And then you have an expectation of us of what you expect us to do. And so we want to meet that expectation, so we're trained to talk to you, to sit down with you and find out what are the important shots for you that day. There's something I like to refer to as the friends and family discount. And I hear this a lot. And, you know, photography for me, I'm a photographer, I'm not a videographer. I have a guy who does the video for us, a great guy. I don't claim to be a videographer. I've tried it and I'm awful at it. I'm just awful. I mean, it looks like it's one of those, like, you know, really bad B movies, you know, where you're running around and the screen's shaking. That's, you know, I'm not a good videographer, okay? So I have a guy who does that, and he's amazing. He's been doing it a long time, okay? But I talk to brides all the time who say, well, my Aunt Jean or my Uncle Bob has a camera, and it's a really nice camera. He got it at Best Buy, and the lens comes off, and it's really, really cool. And, you know, and you should see these pictures of these trees that he shoots. He shoots beautiful trees. And I'm like, that's great. Are you going to hide behind the tree that day? You know, whenever, you know, you're going to take your pictures. You know, having a nice camera and having Uncle Bob shoot it for you can lead to lots of problems. Okay. From a professional point of view, I'm legally bound to you to perform a service at a top-notch level for you that day. Your Uncle Bob's not. If your Uncle Bob forgets to put a memory card in the camera or his battery runs out halfway through the service, oh well. Stop. I got to go run to Best Buy real quick, okay? Just hang out. I'll be right back. Okay, from a professional point of view, we've got backup upon backup of equipment. Okay, so if something happens, we can easily come out. But what more importantly that is in a situation where you have a family member perform that service for you, if it doesn't turn out, there's a strained relationship. So not only did you not get the pictures and the video that you wanted of that day, there's a strained relationship already happening there from a family point of view, and nobody really wants that. So it's why it's really important to kind of stay away from that. Now, don't get me wrong. You know, I love photography, and I love when people, you know, they start out doing photography and they'll buy a prosumer camera and, you know, and they're taking pictures. I love seeing the creativity and the excitement in their eyes of learning to do that trade and one day wanting, you know, to achieve a very high level. And, you know, we'll actually have brides and grooms with family members who are aspiring photographers who actually will allow them to shoot with us within a reasonable distance because we encourage, you know, tomorrow's generation to want to shoot photography. But again, there comes years of experience that's going to bring them to that level. It's a funny thing because we actually had a bride last year who had her aunt shoot the wedding. And it was a favorite comment that I keep down. And she says, you know, on my wedding day, blood wasn't always thicker than water because my wedding was, you know, I didn't capture the important memories and most of my wedding shots were blurry. They were dark because it was a dark venue. You know, she didn't bring a flash, or she had a flash, and there were shadows. I mean, you know, she was really upset. So it's the kind of thing I like to just, you know, pass on to people. Is on your wedding day, sometimes blood isn't always thicker than water. The last thing I like to leave everybody with is on your wedding day and everything that you're going to be going through and the money you're spending and all that, there's no do-overs. There's no, oops, can you go get the bouquet, you know, go wrestle the bouquet back? There's no do-overs. You know, you get one chance. And we as professionals help our brides and grooms and guide them through this process to say, okay, when it's bouquet time, there's a certain way we're going to set this up and do this so we can capture it. You know, if you visit any of the wonderful vendors booths today, you visit our booth, you'll see these beautiful, beautiful shots. And you go, oh my God, I want that shot. I want this, okay? Well, you know, it wasn't just a chance happening. You know, there was a professional that was behind the scenes that made that shot the way it was. And, you know, they've done it a million times before, and they'll do it a million more times before they die, okay? So there's no do-over. So you get one chance to do it, and a pro's going to help you do it, okay? Lastly, at the very end of the day, from a choosing professional, if you're choosing professional, you're going to enter into a contract, okay? Which is not an abnormal thing. And don't be scared by that, okay? It's a perfectly normal thing because it protects you. It protects you and it protects, you know, everybody involved so that you have an expectation for us. You know, you wouldn't go buy a car tomorrow and just go, you know what? Here's the full payment for the car and hopefully next week we'll drop it off at my house, okay? You know, you're going to want something in writing that says that car is delivered to you. Well, the same thing happens for photo and video. You should have a contract that's tying me or any other professional to you, and they're going to list out the things that protect you. You know, having somebody who's not a pro perform that service for you or not be contractually obligated to you is going to actually they can choose not to show up the day of the wedding, and then you're in big trouble. You know, again, it's another story I can tell you about a bride who came to us because somebody stole all of her money. That she gave them all of her money up front, and a week before the wedding, they called him, his phone was disconnected, and nobody could find him, you know? So those are the it's kind of scary stories, but unfortunately they happen, which is, you know, another reason why you should always go after professional. And I'm not just tying this down to photo and video, you know, wedding cakes, invitations, card boxes, venues. I mean, you have a ton of wonderful professionals here today that can actually, you know, provide a lot of these services for you that, you know what, definitely help take the day off. At the very end of it, as a bride, it's your day. It's your day to relax. It's your day to get married and have a great time, you know, and it's our job as professionals to help make that happen behind the scenes, you know, because it really is your day. I mean, who wants to be running around stressing out, you know, wondering where the photographer or the guy with the video camera is at?